Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. We have a foundation wear test today. I'm super excited about it. It is the new Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. So a little bit of backstory. When I first got into makeup, I don't know, 8 years ago when I was in beauty school, my first ever foundation purchase was Nars. And you're probably thinking, whoa, for your first ever purchase, you just getting into it, you went straight to Nars? Here's why. At this point, I was doing tons and tons of research just on makeup. I was in beauty school. I was just getting ready to start my channel. Before I had this channel, I actually had a different one, but I ended up deleting it because it was just so, it was bad. But anyway, I was just so engulfed in what is the best foundation, and I researched for so long, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna settle with Nars. I bought the Nars Sheer Matte Foundation. That was my favorite foundation. It was the first foundation I ever tried, and even after using a bunch of other foundations, that was my holy grail. Of course, Nars ended up discontinuing it, and since then I have been real salty with Nars because that was the best matte foundation. So today we are going to see if this foundation is as good as the old one. It's as good as I remembered. So my favorite thing about Nars is their shade range. They have a great shade range, and the undertone is just perfection. So I'm gonna go ahead, stop flapping my lips. Let's get into it. I like that this is a squeezy bottle. Now, as an MUA, this is bomb because I have more control and I can just kind of mix and customize as I need to instead of having to pump. I like that it is in a plastic container, which means that it is lighter. And honestly, you guys, $40 for a Nars foundation, that is unheard of. So like the price point, like the packaging. Let's see how she does on the skin today. I'm going into work later on tonight, but I'm gonna be working from home. I have a lot of things I need to do for my business at home, so we'll get wear test at home and in salon. Oh wow. And I typically don't do first impressions, but I was just so excited to use this, you guys. So the shade Macao is always a banger. I'm using my Makeup Forever flat foundation brush 108. Y'all know this is my favorite brush of life. This is definitely matte. It is drying down, but it doesn't seem overly matte. You know what I mean? Like I say, the Suck Your Soul matte, and I gotta double check to see what they said the coverage is for this as well, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Take my earrings off real quick. Now the only thing about it being in the squeezy tube is you don't know how many pumps, you know what I mean? That's the only thing about things that come in a tube where you have to squeeze. Loving the finish, love, love, love. And of course, if you're not into matte foundations, then you're just simply not going to be in to this foundation. Okay, so work fast because she dries down very fast. So for foundations that dry down fast like this, I recommend you do one area at a time. Don't put it all over your face because by the time you try to work around, it is going to be dry and harder to blend out. The dry down is reminding me of Fenty. Okay, you guys, so here is what we are looking like. Love the finish. As far as it being soft matte, I 100% agree with that off the bat. It doesn't even feel tacky, which is nice, and it's very comfortable on the skin. I don't feel like I have a mask on. Like I said earlier, the only thing is work fast because it does dry down. It's very comparable to the Fenty. However, I feel like this gives me more of a smoother appearance for some reason, and y'all know Fenty is one of my faves foundations. So, all right, I'm going to just finish up the rest of my makeup and then we'll be ready. All right, y'all, so I am back. This is what my face is currently looking like. It is, what time is it? It is exactly 11:59 on the dot. So I have to finish filming a few more videos, work on some other things for my business, and then we will go to work. I will be checking in with you guys while I'm just, home working on stuff. So I will see you in a bit. Oh, and I know someone is going to ask what is on my lips. I'm gonna do better at always mentioning that because I always leave it in the description box most of the time. Sometimes I mess up, but for those that don't ever read the description box, this is the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in the shade 255 Chai Genius. I typically don't like to go this muted. However, not mad at it. And don't worry, this eye look will be coming soon because I did film it. All right, you guys, so it is 1:04, just finished filming some videos. Now I'm about to eat and then work on some t-shirt stuff, but just wanted to pop in and show you what I'm looking like. So far, so good. All right, you guys, it is currently 3:44, about to go into the salon. First client is at 4 o'clock. This is what my face is looking like. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling kind of shiny. Haven't really done anything that was extremely strenuous today. Like I said, I filmed, I worked on some t-shirt stuff, and I'm just feeling a little shiny, and it ain't that hot today, so we shall see. It's been a long day. I am the last stylist. It is currently 8:40. We are going to close out the video right here because once I get home, I'm going to bed. So let's flip this camera around so we can see what I'm looking like. Okay, because I know someone is going to ask. No, it is not transfer proof, okay? I don't care what anyone says. No foundation, no makeup is going to be transfer proof. If someone is going to try and sell you on that, they are full of crap. When I went into Sephora to pick up the foundation, the girl was like, oh, well, do you need a foundation that's transfer proof? I said, sis, there is none. Miss me with the marketing schemes, okay? But let's take a look at what I'm looking like here. So I haven't done any blotting. This is what I'm looking like. I absolutely love how smooth. I feel like it makes my skin look very, very smooth. I'm happy with the color. I'm happy with how it applies. I like the overall finish of it. But the one thing that I'm a little bit skeptical on is, you guys, I don't know. I just feel like for it to not be as hot as it has been, I really haven't been busting my behind working today. I honestly felt like I got oily really, really fast before I even stepped into the salon. In the car, I was like, man, why do I look this oily? So I'm a little bit on the fence with it. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna report back. Oh, I forgot to mention that I did set it with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. I've been using that all summer. No problem. Again, I just feel like my oil came through a little bit sooner than what I was expecting. Please, before we start going on with the use a primer, I don't use primers, okay? That's just not my thing. If that is your thing, much respect to you. I have plenty of foundations that I use perfectly fine, and I don't have to use a primer. So that's just my preference. I respect your opinion and your thoughts, but I ain't using no primer. But this is the finished look. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Do you feel like I looked oily sooner than I typically do? I'm just really thrown off by that. I'm still going to continue to use it and play around with it some more. Maybe I can set it with a different powder and see if that helps. But I will definitely get back to y'all and keep you updated. So all right, popping in for an update because I've been wearing the Nars foundation for over a week now and I have better thoughts. I'm sure you guys could tell I wasn't sure at first, but here's what I realized. This is a very, very mattifying foundation, okay? So when I was powdering it down, I was using way too much powder, and we all know, especially if you have oily skin, when you tend to over matte, over dry out, what happens? It sends your skin into overdrive and then it produces more oil. So with this foundation, I recommend, especially if you're oily, do a very, very light set. Anytime I've done a light set, like I just dust a little bit of my Laura Mercier translucent powder, not too much, I also found for me, again for my skin type, setting it with the Laura Mercier powder was a million times better than the Charlotte Tilbury powder. So just wanted to mention that again. These are just my recommendations and what worked for me. If you're maybe not as oily as me, it might work fine. Keep in mind, everyone's skin and body chemistry is different. And it is good to go. If you're going in with the gusto and you're super oily like me and you're just pounding down the powder, it might just send your skin into overdrive, but just a little bit of powder and it looks so beautiful, so flawless on the skin. Now, if you're dry, just don't do it. But that is what I have found works best for me. Also wanted to mention with the shade, I am the shade Macao in all of the Nars foundations. Of course, in formulas is gonna vary. It's gonna be different, right? So let's say if you're Macao in one, but then you realize in another formula that it's not working for you, switch the shade. You know, I've tried another shade that was a little bit darker, the one that's after Macao, and it just was a little bit too dark for me. By the time I put this on, throw my bronzer on, everything melts together and it looks fine. It's not anything to me where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is completely off 100%. Mattifying shades always dry down. And I think sometimes some people think just because it dries down, it's going to dry down dark, and that is not necessarily the case. So just wanted to add that in as well. I'm loving this foundation and I am so happy that I have it. So yeah, that is going to wrap up the video. Down below, let me know if you've tried it, if you like it, if you don't like it. You know the deal. Keep it simple and I will see you in the next video. Peace.